Johnny here for Johnny's Car Care and Reviews with the 2024 Ford Ranger behind me. This is the 315 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque beast.
Okay, that's fast. 81 to 120. So yeah, that'll get you your pickup that you need, your pickup and go to merge onto highways, to pass vehicles. This 2.7 liter V6 is quite possibly not just best value, it's possibly the best truck engine that you can get from the mid-size truck segment. This 2.7 liter V6 six-cylinder twin turbo, so very different than GM's 2.7 liter four-cylinder turbo that is found in their Z71 that I recently did a review on. So I really like this. Let's try that acceleration again. Let's turn the camera around and try that again. All right, so we're going 100 kilometers an hour. It's down 130. So let go, because that's your passing speed. But yeah, fantastic in regards to pick up and go to get passing. Now I'm not blown away. I'm not like, my goodness, this is an incredible amount of power. But part of that is this is good power for a truck. Part of that is because I owned a Lightning for 14 months and that thing accelerates at an insane speed. But I'm liking this truck so far. It's taking bumps very well. The 2024 Ford Ranger is more comfortable than the outgoing model. This is more comfortable than a 23. So if you're looking at buying a used Ranger, please consider buying the new Ranger. It's a little wider, it's a little longer, so different platform. Pretty much modified version of the old platform, but they reworked the suspension. This is more comfortable. You can hear a bit the outside, but it's quite well, you know, the sound deadening is quite good. It's a lot better than my Bronco, that's for sure. Well, yeah, it accelerates quickly. It just doesn't make a big fuss about it. So, you know, I'll give you an example. An old V8 truck, I mean like 20, 30 years ago, those things did not accelerate quickly, but they made so much noise, they made such a big spectacle of it, that mentally you're thinking, my goodness, I'm accelerating really quickly, when it just wasn't the case. This is kind of what I would call classy speed. You don't realize that this thing is accelerating quickly because it doesn't make a big fuss about it. It's rather quiet. So here we are in the 2024 Ford Ranger, and I have to say it is very comfortable at cruising speed. I'm going 120 kilometers an hour. Very comfortable, very smooth on the highway. Now, stay with us because we're about to take this into the bendies. So let's test to see how stable and how comfortable, what kind of cornering and handling that this has in the corners. So about to take some big bendies. I must say that this is a joy to drive. It's very comfortable. The seat is quite comfortable. And the interior is, you know, for an XLT, I'd say this is a posh interior. I like the dash, I like the technology, I like the ride height. Size is just right. Steering wheel, nice fake leather wrapped steering wheel. Let's try out these bendies here. Okay, not at 100 kilometers an hour. Let's slow down a little. Get them at 60. Going 50 now. That is fun. That is excellent handling. Well, that's enough handling to disconnect the camera. So that is quite nice handling. Had a bit of tire starting to make just a little bit of noise, and we stuck through the corner quite well. So I'm impressed. This drives really, really well. Let's talk more about that. So stay with us. Don't forget, please help the channel out. We're a small family business. So hit that like button, subscribe, turn the bell notifications on. And if you know anyone that's interested in Rangers, please share this content with them. So this is the 2024 Ford Ranger over the bumpy section of our road test. It's going over a really beaten up bridge. Lots of potholes. really divots, potholes. It's in bad shape. But no, the Ranger takes bumps really well. Of course, I'm doing on-road testing, not off-road testing. But I would suspect that the off-road, it would be actually quite nice in this, based on how it just took over. Did a little section going over train tracks, over the bridge. Now let's see what it's like over these speed bumps. All right, so here's the 2024 Ford Ranger over some annoyingly aggressive speed bumps that I actually scraped the Shelby on. Obviously have the ride height to not scrape this, but the Shelby GT350 does. If I go at 30 kilometers an hour over these speed bumps, I would definitely bottom out. The Shelby Ranger has no problem, is rather quite comfortable going over these speed bumps. So let's hit a few more to complete this test. This is really making it quite evident that this would be quite the fun little off-road truck. I shouldn't say little, mid-sized truck. So more speed bumps. Okay, that was really well. That's a huge positive point for the Ford Ranger. So I'm pleased to say the Ford Ranger is exceptional at taking bumps, whether they're potholes, whether they're little bridge connections, or going over these really excessive speed bumps at 42 kilometers an hour. Fantastic. Lots of comfort. I see other vehicles, lights kind of going all over the place behind me. No, so far I'm really liking the Ranger in regards to comfort from the suspension. It's a 10 out of 10 on handling for a truck. I don't expect a truck to corner any better than this. Fantastic cornering. Really comfortable seats. Again, really aggressive speed bumps. I don't know what the town was thinking in putting these speed bumps here. Lower cars like the Shelby, other Mustang GTs, you essentially have to stop at these speed bumps, whereas I'm just driving over them at 50 kilometers an hour, and it's a joke for the Ford Ranger. Now this truck is, yes, brand new. You can see the steering wheel here, this what looks like rather fake leather, but good comfort, good feel, right size to it. I like the technology on this. The lane keeping is good. It's not intrusive. It doesn't scream at you. It's not, I don't want the technology in a vehicle to talk to me the way my mother would if I was misbehaving and I'm 12 years old. This is nice. You start to go out of your lane, the camera is picking up those lines as long as the lines are painted. There's just a little vibration and a little assistance from the steering wheel. So not annoyingly intrusive in any way whatsoever. Now that sounds pretty good. I have to say, that sounds pretty good. It does sound better in the Bronco Raptor, in the Bronco Wild Track. I have the same 2.7 liter V6 in a Bronco, and the exhaust is just different. It sounds a little better in the Bronco. It sounds better in the F-150 as well, but that's all, you can always resolve that on your own by just changing the exhaust if ever you feel that it's too quiet. But it is a bit on the quiet side. It has a nice sound to it, but it's a little on the quiet side for me. Really like the digital touchscreen in this. Touchscreen is fantastic. I really like the roughly, what must be 8-inch screen, digital screen behind. It's not analog, it's digital behind the steering wheel. Does a really good job of advertising my speed. Quite large numbers for the speed, fuel economy. So far I'm not getting great fuel economy because I've been pressing on putting the pedal to the metal and enjoying the ride, not worrying about fuel economy. This can get pretty good fuel economy. You should be able to get about 10 to 11 liters per 100 kilometers out of this if you put some effort into it. Of course, you can always look into what's advertised as the fuel economy, as the miles per gallon or the kilometers per liters per 100 kilometers, but generally Ford is pretty good. If you put a little effort in, you can generally pretty easily get the numbers that Ford advertises. Generally, people will be, you know, up to maybe 1 liter better. So you can get better. You can usually get up to 10% better than what's advertised. And of course, well, sky's the limit for fuel. But this is a nice mid-sized truck. Highly recommend it with the 2.7 liter engine. We drove this with the 2.3 liter 4-cylinder. It's good, but the 2.7 liter V6 twin turbo is great, and it's a steal of a deal. It's a real bargain. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong because, well, what is the option? A couple $1,000s, 310 horsepower, a whole lot of torque. We'll talk more about that torque and how it feels, as well as the overall quality of the vehicle when we come right back. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Help this small family business help feed and dress those poodles.